segment you see next comes about a third of the way through the course, and what I like to do is give students a chance to reflect on what's going on in the course and what's going on in their teams as a way of providing feedback to me and input into what's going to remain for the course. Now, it involves some sheets, and these will also be on the website so you can download them to see them. And the sheets ask individual students first to identify what they would like to see me do differently in the class, what they like about their group, what's going well, and what they think that their group could do to improve. Now, what you'll actually view on the tape is me talking about a summary that I've created between the class period in which they do their work and the class period and the next class period. And so then I go over the items that are identified by groups as being the top 2 from their group.
What I'm going to show you here is what you said when last time on the sheet, and then summarized and said these are the things that we think this first set are what I can do to help the class be better. The 4 of them pertain to the rats, and I want to talk about those. These were the 4 that pertain to the rats, and there were 2 who said preview the key points in the next readings, and one said give them after the group activity, and one said let us keep the rats for review. Giving the rats after a group activity, I thought about that one a lot. My feeling is that it's a more powerful learning experience if you've got the concepts and you discover that just having them doesn't necessarily mean you can use them, which in fact it happens most frequently. So I think I'm going to stay with the approach in that sense. That the first exposure will come through the reading and the rats, and then I'll put you to work on it. Now, in terms of giving you, let us keep the rats for review, thought about that one too. I like to reuse them so I can have a measure over time of how people are doing that's pretty consistent. Use more specific real-world examples. I will do that, no question. I've already started to do that tonight. I will do that as we go along. Be specific when answering questions during class discussions. Give us more feedback on how the groups are doing, good and bad. Groups tend to be isolated, perhaps some cross-group activities. We'll have several of those coming up in the next while. Change the routine to keep us on our toes. You'll see a lot of routine changing. Clear objectives for assignments and explicit directions on the rats and activities. I added the word identify because I assumed that. I presume I could have added the word there too, what we were asking for. And then this one was a puzzle to me. This was listed under things that I could do, and I wasn't sure what it meant. I see.
The assignment could be spread out
a little bit more. Okay. By the end of tonight, you will be over half of your reading will be done for the semester. Here's what we like best about our group. Or here's what people in our group are doing that really is helping us. And that's a neat set. And in terms of what could you do that make your groups better, even better preparation. And then here were a couple that dealt with what looked to me to be folks saying something about a member or members within their group. Some people in our group need to speak louder. Some people in our group need to be more willing to speak up and give their opinions. And then there were a set of things that talked about what it is we can do to help us. Now I'm going to give you an assignment to work on for just a minute in your groups. And the assignment is, if this is what individuals need to do, and this is what the group needs to do, I'd like you to work on phrasing that one so that, in fact, it becomes a group responsibility, not an individual responsibility. And somebody talk about how you can do that. If you said, now, wait a minute, this isn't an individual's problem in our group. This is our problem as a group, because it really is. What does that mean we need to do? Talk about that in your group for a minute. One other part of this activity that you had just seen
is that we use it to help set up the peer evaluation that will occur at the end of the course. And now they're about a third of the way through, and we know it's coming, but they haven't done anything with it. And what we have them do is, after they've talked about and identified the things they think that are going the best in their group and the things that they could help, that would help most for members to do, that would help the group do better, then we say you're now in a position to talk to each other about the criteria that you think might make sense for your group at the end of the semester to do your peer evaluations. And so we literally have them talk and create a list that we need to keep on file, and it's one that they will use, or at least they think at this point that they'll use at the end for peer evaluation.